This is everything. This is everything. Hey, hey.
We're stepping out on faith. His love is yours. We are saved. He is the risen Lord. We are stepping out on faith. His love is yours. In the arms of Jesus. He is the risen Lord. We're stepping out on His love is we are saved. He is the risen Lord. We're on an ultra.
We're on an ultralight beam. We're on an ultralight beam. This is a God dream. This is a God dream. This is everything. This is everything.
Come on, no music all over the building. Come on, sing it. We're on an ultralight.
We're on an ultralight beam. We're on an ultralight beam. This is a God dream. This is a God dream. This is everything.
Yes, people.
This is everything.
But listen, guys, this is Roger. Okay, we're gonna start with a bit of vibes. Anyway, so big tune by Doe called "When I Pray." Listen, man, big tune still. Anyway, so yeah, watch this, man. When I pray, let's stay in this mode, you know.
Carrying all of the world on my shoulders, and it's getting too heavy for me. And y'all know I ain't no Hercules. Life moves on, stuff breaks down, people fall off. Gotta find a way to get over. Gotta find a way to get through, break through, heal. Struggles they last, and as time pass, it's been one thing after the other. I don't always know the right way. No, I don't always know what to say. But all I know is something happens when I pray. I know I can get through when I pray. I know I can reach you when I call your name. You're never too busy for me. No, you're never too busy for me. When I found myself at the end of the road, looking forward and I see a fork in the road. Hell if I know which way to go. I feel so alone, life is so cold. I'm not very eloquent in speech. I don't always know how to sound holy when I speak. Papa told me something happened when I pray. I know I can get through when I pray. I know I can reach you when I call your name. You're never too busy for me. You're never too busy for me when I pray. I know I can get through when I pray. I know I can reach you when I call your name. You're never too busy for me. You're never too busy for me.
Come on, Bridget, let's pray.
I know you will never leave me try. It's not in your nature to turn away. When the humble pray, when I cry, I know you will never leave me empty. It's not in your nature to turn away from the humble. When I pray,
when you pray, man, trust me, man, you know, yo, just a challenge to myself, man. Pray, and I will stick with the prayer vibe, man, before we get into our first interview. Corinne Hawthorne, track's called Pray. Keeping it simple like that, brethren.
Everybody tryna weather the storm. Trust me when I say I've been there before. I had days when it didn't seem fair. He said the load was never too much to bear. Things I had to go through so I could better know you. Cause when I know I can't do it on my own, you're the one that I am leaning on. All things work together for the good. And if you said it, then it must be true. So in the morning I pray. When I feel like I ain't gonna make it, that's when I pray. And now I know even when it's all good, you still need to pray. The Lord hears you when you pray, and He responds when you pray. Lord, all I can do is pray. So much pain in the world, they've been taking our girls and enslaving them, real talk. All the hate being spread and the blood being shed, I can tell that we need God. We've been going to war within ourselves. I know where to go when people fail. Cause when I know I can't do it on my own, you're the one that I'm leaning on. All things work together for the good. And if you said it, then it must be true. So in the morning I pray. When I feel like I ain't gonna make it, that's when I pray. And now I know even when it's all good, you still need to pray. The Lord hears you when you pray, and He responds when you pray. Lord, all I can do is pray. You need to find somewhere you can run to. Somewhere along away from here. So in the morning I pray. When I feel like I ain't gonna make it, that's when I pray. And now I know even when it's all good, you still need to pray. The Lord hears you when you pray, and He responds when you pray. Lord, all I can do is pray. So in the morning I pray. When I feel like I ain't gonna make it, that's when I pray. And now I know even when it's all good, you still need to pray. The Lord hears you when you pray, and He responds when you pray. Lord, all I can do is pray.
I won't ever go too far. I'm playing games cause happiness don't last.
Easy mix there. Charlie Nash. Breathe.
It's so far gone, but I'd feel better when I lit this thing on fire. I'd feel high. I'm losing my sense of consequence, so I'm hoping that you'll always be faithful. I just want you to be faithful. When it's getting hard to breathe, will you
Go straight in that interview about midlife crisis. Anybody knows about midlife crisis? Boy, I definitely do anyway. So crash.com. Well, Alan Charles is going to do playing that. So watch his space, guys. Coming up on my Edge interview and be on YouTube straight after the show.
To give all my love, but I'm hoping that you'll always be faithful. I just want you to be faithful. When it's getting hard to breathe, will you answer, Lord? I need you to be right here with me. Lately I'm feeling high, Lord. I don't know which way to find, Lord. Irritation's high, my patience is high, Lord. But I know my trying's just ain't enough. That's why I'm hoping that you'll always be faithful. I just want you to be faithful. When it's getting hard to breathe, will you answer, Lord? I need you to be right here with me. Yeah, yeah, I'm hoping that you'll always be faithful. I just want you to be faithful. When it's getting hard to breathe, will you answer, Lord? I need you to be right here with me.
In researching for the play, I've spoken to people who have told, pastors have told me, pastors, respectable pastors have said to me, yeah, but Alan Strina, when the kids left, I struggled to have a conversation with my wife. Or, I'm saying, it was difficult because back then everything centered around, you know what I mean, the kids, the house, whatever, the business of life, as it were. Now it's just me and you, baby, like it was back in the day when we were dating. But because we didn't fully, you know what I mean, kept everything, you know what I mean, on hot and warm and stuff, you know, because we allowed life to muddy the waters, as it were. It's like now we having to like start over again.
Affinity Extra, be extra.
Yeah, my people. This is Roger Moore here on Affinity Extra, here to celebrate gospel music of black origin. I'm here talking about on the Edge show. As you know, you listen to the Edge, and I talk about from all elements of creativity, from the especially from a black perspective. This is how we do it. We're not afraid about talking about the black issues from a Christian perspective, which is not out there, guys. We don't talk about it from a Christian perspective. We just let everybody else chat about it, and we just pretend that nothing happens out there on the streets. But things do happen in our lives, and we need to talk from our cultural perspective. And I'm here today talking to a crew, a team, sorry, because I'm not really into to theatre too much. I don't know what the crew is. Yeah, he's a crew. Yeah. The crew, the cast. That's it. You can tell I flunked out English and never paid attention in drama. But the cast for the midlife, I'm gonna say film, you know. I'm gonna say film, but I'm not gonna say film. I'm gonna say midlife crisis theatre production that is happening by the very version, and we have to compare. Like people compare me to Rio Ferdinand when I play football, so we have to compare Alan Charles to Tyler Perry of the UK. You know what I'm saying? You know, so and because he's been doing this for a minute, you know, it's so easy to do two plays when you're in your 20s and in your early 30s, but to come back later on in life and still do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And still loving it. It's amazing still anyway. So yeah. But listen, guys, you know, we are like, you know, we're going to be talking to this crew. We're going to be finding what's this whole midlife crisis all about? And I'm just gonna get the boss man, the director, the MD, the bank loan dude. Everything's on this guy's shoulder. You know what I'm saying? If it all goes wrong, it's on his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? When the guy goes like, to, can somebody pay the bill, please? It's gonna go to this guy anyway. So sorry, Alan. Was it somebody else? But anyway, Alan Charles is gonna explain it all. Why is this? And then we're gonna bring somebody else into the cast as well, because now we got, I believe, almost the full cast. I think we have almost the full cast here. But listen, Alan, you kick off while I bring in Treyan. Ooh. As Alan froze.
Oh, sorry.
Go. I actually thought that they actually froze, you know. I was like, no.
He was active. That was very good, Alan. Well done.
Blessings, Roger, and thanks for having us as we talk about the new play, Midlife Crisis, for Better, Not Worse, coming to Birmingham on Sunday the 13th of February at 7 p.m. at the Crescent Theatre. And so we've got the cast in studio via Zoom, so we're going to be sharing with you some of the characters, the plots, the conversations, and the discussions about midlife crisis and how important it is to recognize whatever crisis you may be going through at that particular stage in your life. I didn't realize that it was so prominent, you know, and a lot of people, just having speaking to them about the play, have related that actually, they can see where at times they have reached that stage in their life where they've reached a crossroad in life and they didn't know which way to go. Had they achieved what they meant to have achieved, all their goals or their dreams? Because you've reached a stage where you've lived enough of your life, but you still got enough of life to ahead of you, and you're wondering if you are where you should be in terms of your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. You know what I mean? The house, the car, the wife, the kids, the family, the career. Is everything in place? Have you utilized your abilities and skills to to the best of your ability, or are you lagging behind? And so sometimes that causes anxieties in yourself. And so as a result, if you're in a marriage, it can also affect the marriage as well, as you try to cope with this difficult period of your life. You may have a wife or a husband, and they are being affected by you going through this midlife crisis in your life, searching for identity, searching for validity, and just searching for self-contentment, self-realization, and you know, just finding out if you are where you should be, basically.
Wait. Okay, so he in midlife crisis now. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you say from 30s, you know them derogative terms, like it's all downhill now. Yeah, you put somebody puts that in somebody's birthday card when they from when they reach 30. After the age of 30, see, it's all downhill now. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, thanks, dude. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know. Okay, so obviously there was a need for this conversation. You had a heart for the conversation of lockdown. This conversation we don't really have out there within, and I only can talk from my community perspective. What does it look through my community lens? And now I'm a church boy, some people may be road boys or whatever, so yeah, I know people hide their escape through certain things which are not so much positive but very negative towards their spirit, themselves, you know what I'm saying, just to escape the feeling and the fear and not have anyone to talk to about midlife crisis. Now, is this something which you guys, which you heard, or you getting feedback back from people who says, oh, I never knew somebody would talk about this, I've been going through this for years, I've been stuck? Have you had already that sort of feedback from people?
Yeah, I've heard that people are very excited about the play, because most of the people, obviously, I'm in my 50s, so the people that I'm speaking to, and they recognize that they have been going through it, they went through it, or they're currently in it, and the actual vehicle of the story is where we've got a couple that have been married for like 20 26 years. So the bills, the mortgage is paid. The mortgage is paid.
Oh, not me.
The kids have left home.
Yeah.
And it's now the two of them, husband and wife now. And they look across at each other and they realize that I'm not sure I know who you are. I'm not sure I love you. I'm not sure that this marriage is fruitful. It seemed fruitful because we had the kids and the mortgage to take off some of the distraction. But now it's the two of us together. Did we invest in us two? Did we invest enough in us two as a man and a woman? Or did we let the living, the life of rearing kids and paying the mortgage and doing a job, did that create a false sense of protection, so that now that it's just the two of us now, we haven't got enough to carry us to the next level, because we don't have that distraction, because sometimes a lot of marriage stays together for the sake of the kids, or you stay together for the sake of the mortgage. Understand? But now that those things are gone, you don't have that to rest upon now. Do you have enough now for the two of you in your 50s, in your 60s, I mean, to take it to the finish line? And so those are some of the challenges that the play outline. You know, you must invest in your marriage intentionally. You must intentionally invest in your marriage and put the protection around your marriage, or you're gonna end in crisis.
So why didn't you do this 25 years ago when I just got married? But anyway, but nah. So where all these things when I was getting married 20 odd years ago, man. Oh my goodness.
Because what happens with Roger is like, okay, when you're in your 20s, you have dreams and you have goals. Sometimes you get married, and sometimes those dreams and goals have to go on the back burner. Yeah, true. While you take care of marital business. So you might have been a footballer, or you might have been a singer, or whatever. But now that you're married, you can't really pursue that, because that's true. You understand? Yeah. So now that you've reached 50, 45, 50, 55, you may have seen a fellow friend or colleague who has achieved that goal. So he's now in the Premier League, or just finishing whatever he's doing, and you didn't get to accomplish. And you may have been a better footballer or producer or singer than that person, but because you got married, and the marriage probably didn't allow you to pursue whatever interests you may have, you know, you're now looking back in regret as well. And sometimes you look across at your wife or your husband, and you're probably blaming them for you not being able to. You understand?
Straight, man. Like that's crazy. Now let me just put it out to the cast. You know, guys, great. I found a really great, cool phrase now. I know, but cast the. Listen, guys. Was this triggering for you guys doing it? Because, you know, this is a subject which was there some sort of reflection while going through the script and looking at your own personal lives and whatever there's still, did you guys have to go through that element of reflective kind of like looking at yourself? Because this sounds like something which affects everybody.
Let me come in here. Yeah, I think it can affect everyone. But again, it is like what Alan was saying, is how do you conduct your life as you go through that life? And you know, I work with women who are over 40, who are having their midlife crisis, and the thing is, society puts a lot of pressure on women to if they have a family, put their children first, which I'm not saying you shouldn't, but just like you do on the plane, where you put your own oxygen mask on before you put it on to anybody else, I think that women don't usually do that. I think they just put, it has to be the children first. But when the children get older, and they go to university or even teenage, and they don't really they don't really need their mum as much anymore, then they're like, okay, well, that was almost my life purpose, and now what? So for me, it's interesting. Some of the things that I'm saying, I've said to my dear husband, and which is quite interesting. But I think I have a different kind of outlook on it, because of, I try and encourage women to say that your life is not over. You still got another 50 years maybe left. So although I see it in a lot of friends, I see it in some of my clients as well. But I don't think it has to be that way.
Cool. Nah, that's sweet. Anybody else? Everyone looks scared, Everyone's like, yeah, man, we get to the play, everything cool, I'm ready to take on life going forward. You about to say something, Lorenzo?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be looking at this play from a completely different perspective. Being probably the youngest person in the room here.
Amen.
I'm not going through that midlife crisis, and hopefully I don't. I don't know if it's something that's inevitable, but hopefully I can skip that. And from my perspective, I think if you're making the right plans, and you're going through your list of things which you need to do, by the time you get to a certain phase, hopefully you won't go through that midlife crisis, because you do hit your goals because you're working on them daily. It's interesting when I heard you, Alan, talk about not achieving certain goals because of being married, because in my mind it makes me think to myself, why would someone then get married at a young age? Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
That's a plane itself.
Because why would you get married if it's going to stop you from achieving your goals? Why? Tell me why that makes sense.
Family shame, mate.
No, I mean, because
Alan, you're in trouble now,
No, trouble now, Alan. I really feel like, just from my brain here, I'm thinking, all right, cool. I'm assessing this marriage here before I do it. Cool. I may love this person or I may not. But if anything is going to cause me to jeopardize the best interests of my future, and this marriage is a part of it, I don't think it might be the best thing for me.
And you are young and idealistic, and I love that. That's great. Yeah. But when push comes to shove, you're in a marriage and it's two now. So sometimes, like for example, the wife, for example, which is obvious, a lot of times they put their dreams and goals on hold for the sake of the kids. Yeah. Or you might be pursuing a career or a love that is probably not fruitful in terms of financial stability. I mean, so you rather than pursuing that singing career or that football career or whatever it may be, you might need to get up and go and get a regular 9 to 5, and put that dream or goal that you had on the back burner, because obviously within the marriage you have a wife, you have kids. If your pursuit of happiness isn't achieving the financial comfort that the family requires, you may have to make that sacrifice and say, you know what, the music ain't working, the football ain't working, the graphic design ain't working, the comedy ain't working, the poetry ain't working. You know what I mean? Whatever it is ain't working. I need to go and get a job in Sainsbury's or Asda, or become a regular accountant, or, you know what I mean, rather than pursuing that dream. And so sometimes, remember, marriage is also a compromise. You give and take. You make allowances. And so sometimes whether it's the wife or the husband may say, you know what, okay, for the sake of the marriage, blah blah blah. Even stuff like location. You know what I mean? You may get married and one might have to move from one city to the next. You understand? But because you're now on a journey, and sometimes by you making that particular move could have denied you of something that you were trying to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So so yes, you try to find somebody that would help you accomplish your goals and your dreams. Yeah.
So Eugenie, sorry guys, I'm just enjoying this conversation.
Eugenie.
I'm going Eugenie. Yeah. It's because Eugenie, you're next because I love that because you put your hand up in it. Yeah. Go for it.
So, although I agree that there are situations like that, the last thing that you said there was find somebody that can help you achieve your goals. And I just think, actually, you know what? And this is for you, Lorenzo. You have to know who you're marrying. So you have to choose wisely. At the end of the day, there's no, you know, before you get married, you should be choosing or having the same outlook, having the same goals. So it's not a matter of, well, let's get married and then everything stops. We can't. It's like you create the life that you want. So if it's a matter of, you know what, want to get married, want to travel around the world, then it's like, you know that you need to find somebody that wants to travel around the world with you, right?
Because if they're not on it, what's the point?
That's right. Now, as well, Alan, there are people that remember that, you know, I follow people, right, on Instagram or whatever. There are people who are taking their children with them around the world and homeschooling them. So it's not like totally impossible. It's not like when you get married, then you just forget your dreams. It depends what your dreams are and who you're marrying in order to, you know, because every marriage should have a mission, really, and should have a purpose. And if that, and particularly Christian marriages, so that mission, really, God's going to put you together if you're on the same page, if you're on the same mission, ideally. But sometimes we just want to marry whoever we want to marry.
And important point here is obviously the play is addressing the issue and showing you a version or how that particular couple went about managing their issues. But like I says, so Eugenie, you may wanted to travel the world, and you found somebody that was in agreement with you. But when you start doing life, when the kids come or when the mortgage come, you may not be able to achieve that at a particular time because there are more pressures and priority than you going around the world, and not everybody has the ability to homeschool or take their kids around the world with them. We're talking about the average man and the average woman out there who don't have that luxury. You know, right. So that would be an example of you wanting to travel the world, but you got married. When you initially got married, interest rate was low, for example. Now it's gone sky high. Somebody lost their job or had to take a lesser job. So you now have to sacrifice on going around the world. I mean, 3 times a year to 1 time a year, and so. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I hear you. But at the same time, it's not just about, you know, one person wanting to travel around the world. They both do. So therefore, it may be, actually, if we want to do this and we want to be out for 6 months, maybe it's not about buying a house. Maybe it's about renting. So it all comes into the plan. And so there may not be a mortgage. It may be, you know what? Yeah, let's go and travel around the world now, and then in 10 years, that's when the kids when we'll start settling down and having the kids. So it's not like it's not, because, I don't know, you kind of saying it like getting married is almost a death sentence to your dreams.
Okay, right.
Sentence to your dreams.
Okay, guys, right. Anyone listening in right now, everyone's going, oh, wait, what's going on here? Definitely, this shows how triggered it is. The cast we were just always chopping him. Well, I see pure teeth coming from the Lloyd video section anyway, still, yeah. And I hear no noise, you know what I'm saying? Pure teeth. Listen, Lloyd, come in, bro. You know what I'm saying? Unmute yourself and come through, bro.
All right, so I want to say that people change. Both people in the marriage change in the marriage. Who I was at 20 was not who I was at 25, 30, or 45. And unfortunately, some people do grow apart within the marriage setting, which might lead to that midlife crisis based on their wanting to be a footballer or wanting to be an artist or wanting to be a singer and not being able to do that. That frustration eventually gets to them when they're in their 30s or in their 40s or possibly in their 50s, 60s. They no longer want to be in that setting because they didn't grow together. Maybe their plan wasn't conducive for who they are. So again, I'm just saying, who I was in my 20s was not who I was in my 30s, and again, not in my 40s either.
So just for the record, marriage is beautiful and honorable. It's a wonderful institution. I'm not, I mean, so I don't want to get. I'm just talking about the challenges. Because I mean, in researching for the play, I've spoken to people who have told. Pastors have told me. Pastors, respectable pastors, have said to me, "Yeah, but Alan Strina, when the kids left, I struggled to have a conversation with my wife." I'm saying it was difficult because back then everything centered around, the kids, the house, whatever, the business of life, as it were. Now it's just me and you, baby, like it was back in the day when we were dating. But because we didn't fully, kept everything, on hot and warm and stuff, because we allowed life to muddy the waters, as it were. It's like now we having to start over again in getting to know each other. Understand? So the play is dealing with the challenges of life. It's not saying that no, marriage is beautiful, and yes, we honor it, but we're also dealing as saints in the body of Christ some of the challenges that we're going through. Because as well, sometimes, sister Jenny, we paint marriage as being so beautiful and so glorious that we don't want to admit the hard work and the challenges that's in it. So people get married thinking, yeah man, better rose. And when 2-3 years lick them and the reality lick them, they think, oh my gosh, I didn't know this. Because sometimes as Christians, we don't want to be honest and talk about the issues and the challenges that we may go through, because we want everybody to view our marriage and our life as being wonderful and glorious and red tinted glasses. So sometimes we're not real enough. And so the play, to me, throws up some of the reality and the challenges of what your average couple may go through. Yes, there are people who don't go through it to that level, but it's real talk. It's real issues we're dealing with within the play.
I think I did a podcast a few weeks back with a colleague in Birmingham, and we were just saying basically the stats are ridiculous now. It's over 60% of marriages are breaking up. I must say, guys, all the guys that are like a little bit older than me, who are in their 50s, early 50s, they're on second wives and just smiling and praising God, and I'm going, hold on a second, did I misread the Bible when I was 18? And so the thing is, I as I said in the podcast there, I come humbly as a guy that realizes that I am but a small breath away of maybe me being in that same situation. The whole super approaches we're having at 18, 19, going, yeah, God's got me, we got to be here together and whatever. But if the reality show is, I look back in my life and there's never been a true healthy conversations continually about marriage. We have little conversations, little trickles about here, but our only input has been from the secular world. You know what I mean? And people always go to the extreme and says the only input I have into marriage is porn, but I'll go straight into some lesser things, like, you know, even what we can go and look at EastEnders, we can look at all these programs. They all have influences on how we treat marriage and whatever, but we don't talk about it in church. So we've been influenced by so much media platforms through how many Kevin Samuels, I don't know if you guys know about this guy Kevin Samuels. Yeah, you have all these guys on YouTube have more of an influence in our marriages, in with our community, than the church itself. So this is why I have to, it's great seeing the conversation you guys, seeing you guys go, hey, get the bats out and stuff, but at the same time, it's a conversation that I had with my guy, we couldn't even finish. It's such a, I'm a married man, it's an uncomfortable conversation, because at the same time I'm angry because I wish I had these conversations when I was 16, 17, 18. People get married just to fulfill desires and thinking it's okay and different things like that. And then when they realize this later in life, as Lloyd says, you change characters. I got married, I met my wife 19, I got married at 21, you know what I mean? And like, you know, I'm 45 now, but I'm a different man to who I was when she met me when we were 19. You know, I might still be green teeth, but you know what I mean? But apart from that, different.
Let me just say something, Roger. You said that you wish you've had the convo when you was younger, right?
Yeah.
Are you saying that was because nobody gave you the convo? Because sometimes in our youth, we don't want to hear. We don't want to hear from nobody, because we think, I mean, we're young, we're strong, and we know what we're doing. So sometimes the people are there ready to give us the advice, but we don't want to hear that, because we're thinking, I'm in love, I love this woman, and I mean, it's me and her to do a spot, and we don't want to sit down and hear the real nitty gritty of stuff, because I know that when I was younger, there were people that I could have gone to and spoken to, but I wasn't into that, man. No, me's a big man. You can't tell me the blah blah blah. I mean, that kind of attitude, and you think that you're Superman and you could do everything on your own. Where there was people there who would have been able to guide you and tell you, listen, man, it's not as easy as you're thinking of. And the real work starts when you get married. Getting married is the easy bit. Stayed married.
But what I would say as well, this is what is beautiful, what you guys are doing through Midlife Crisis. You're creating it on a platform, another way of communicating to people, because you might not be able to take your dad sitting you down and explaining things to you and counseling you, or brother Smith or brother Simit, or you know, from church and whatever, coming in and sitting down with you. You might be thinking, oh, this is dead. But when you're using creative platforms to communicate real issues to people, it starts to actually resonate more in them. And I hear what you're saying in terms of communicating with a generation, but we have to show is we have to look at the different ways they're taking information. You know what I mean? Even if you have to bring it to TikTok, you know what I'm saying, the conversation before you meet somebody, you know, are you dating, or are you or is it courtship? Bringing in certain of these conversations on other platforms apart from the stereotypical of sit down and let me just tell you what you need to do in life. You know, people may not be able to. So I hear what you're saying, and maybe there's parts where I'm thinking that some things you just learn yourself, you know, but 100%. But I'm thinking from a creative perspective, you know, how from a Christian creative perspective, looking at our environment, that conversation wasn't there. It's not just about marriage, getaways and all that business. It's about, you know, real talk from a young age about relationships and the other side about it. Maybe people don't want to let people know the struggles that they have done, because there's a generation that have struggled. You know, you gotta explain why 2-3 of my children are total different complexions to the others and have different surnames. No one's telling you until you're 45 and you go, but wait, that's not the same same thing of. But that will help me understand the way forward. They curse off the young lady who gets pregnant, but yet grandma has got 2-3 children in Jamaica and come over here and start fresh. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. You know, you hide all your the reason why the conversation never had is because they didn't want to show their own failures and weak. So part of this is really exposing our failures, but to save the next generation.
Indeed.
I don't know if that's a bit bait. so I go. But I don't know.
I think.
Go on.
I think. Can I just say as well that I mean, yes, it is about that, because obviously they were young once, right, and had the same kind of issues that we have or had, and obviously, yes, we can learn from them. But also, I was talking about this the other day. Actually, is that we have pre-marriage counselling. There's also pre-engagement counselling as well. But I think that kind of ends before the marriage. And what needs to happen, I think, the counselling needs to continue for at least a year, if not more, after the wedding. Because that's when, when you start actually living with someone, that's when, you realise just how...
But hearing lies the problem, Sister Eugenie, yeah? You know that our men, especially, when I say our men of black origin,
amen,
we don't really do counselling. Too tough.
Well, the thing is, to be honest, and I guess this is for the women, if you're going to marry somebody who doesn't want to do pre-marriage counselling, who doesn't want to continue with the counselling after marriage, maybe you need to think about marrying that person in the first place. Right. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but we're talking about marriage counselling, pre-marriage counselling, before you even got married, right? And if you're not even up for that, you're not ready for marriage.
No. What I'm saying, yeah.
No.
What I'm saying, Eugenie, right?
She hit it out, yeah.
So a lot of men would grin and bear it up until the wedding day, right? So yeah, we will go with you for pre-engagement. We'll go with you for pre-marriage. But you said you want to continue during the marriage. Now we draw the line there. well, then, if that's the case, then I can't help you. At the end of the day, it's like if then that's when really sorry to all these black men who don't want to do counselling, but you need to then look inside yourself and think, why do I not want to better myself? Why do I not want to better our marriage? Why would I want to just think that I can do it all by myself? And so it's like, that in itself really is something. I'm sorry, it's not good enough. It's not enough to sort of say, no, me nah, like the me nah do that. It's like
time when you have to leave.
I'm sorry, no. It's like you
leave school at
have
some
to
point.
Be uncomfortable, right, and do it. And so the thing about it is that you will benefit from it. You'll benefit from it.
Why is so much work necessary? Listen, if I feel like all of that, if you have to do all of that, is that the person you want to be married?
Wow.
because look, marriage, yeah. Listen, yeah, marriage to me should be a partnership. Yeah, and I think you should be married before you're even married on paper. You should be married with each other's spirit before you're married on paper. All marriages to me is just a ceremony with papers being signed and ring on finger. To me, that's all it really is, And I think you should have that connection with each other where you know each other well enough to know, is this the right thing to do before you're even signing paper to say get married. If not, then why get married? Why not just stay in a nice little spiritual bond for the next 10 years? Why would marriage be necessary?
Also,
I
just think, I feel that, when you're in a marriage, you communicate well with your wife. You don't have to communicate with your wife and then a next counsellor. You may just want to keep it in-house.
Communication may not even be that good, because remember, you're bringing two people, right, who, in terms of good Christian marriage, right, two people together, right, who had their own brought upness, right, and that may be different, and then you bring them together to live together and have to deal with different things like how they wash up, different things like, just the whole thing of how you just live. And that them little things can get under your begin? And so it's not going to be, regardless of how, you're on this, you have this connection, all of that kind of stuff. But it can be, if because obviously a lot of us in relationships are related to how our parents were, right? So it could be that one spouse thinks that, well, I shouldn't have to tell you about, so it's this. When the other one thinks, oh no, we need to sit down around the kitchen table and discuss it. So you may not know that, maybe without counselling, but when you come together, how things are. Because remember, when you're just in a relationship, everything's just wonderful, and you love is blind, as they say, and you don't see these things.
What I would say is that something I've mentioned a lot of times doing my show over the past year or so, and I've been speaking to my friend who is a mental health nurse and whatsoever. She's a practitioner looking into the black community, and something that's really weird over here compared to US, US, you notice they always reach for the family counsellor. It's a natural part of their thing, Bob. If there's crisis coming up, they book in to see the counsellor. The church, the pastor was major part in that as well, in terms of thing, Bob. And they always have a professional counsellor to turn to. And I feel in the UK, myself, I'm to be honest, guys, I'm going more with what Eugene is saying, because I do feel that, the biggest, the end of the day, so we have been tight-lipped for so long as black men over this, and we've seen the decimation of boys, next boys generation, because we have not, especially when we're coming from they kind of realize that what really broke me when I went to Africa is I realized that, hold on a second, I'm black, but the reality show is that when you're humanity's been absolutely stripped out of you, and you have to then try and rebuild yourself as a race and as a man upon slavery, upon being a cattle. You know what I'm saying? How can you don't even know we have no identity. My name is Roger Moore. My friends can look at the name and say, yeah, I'm Yoruba, I'm Igbo, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. What am I? You know what I'm saying? When you're taking these things out of men, you know what I'm saying, and you're starting on that foundation, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of lost men, I know, from my Caribbean men perspective. So it's so crucial for me going forward. I have to go with Eugene, guys. I hear what you're saying. The man don't want to, like, yo, I don't need to be, it's not about just helping, it's about guidance, about understanding how to communicate. There's things and the thing is, the best scenario going into a relationship for me is to sort your garbage out, but 99.9% of the times we bring our garbage of our childhood into our thing about issues with our cousins and our friends and our families, and we take it out on the partner. Now, me as a man, I don't want to take on anybody else's rubbish, but I have to. It ends up that I have to, and it's not nice. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, guys, for your own mental health, trust me, it's good to talk in a safe environment, because when you go into unsafe, for me, you end up doing something that you may regret. You know what I'm saying? That's just my humble personal opinion, and I hear what everyone's saying and whatsoever. I'm not saying that I know it all, because I'm 20 odd years into marriage, but ultimately I find that as I change my character, as I made mistakes, you know what I'm saying, it's just good to sometimes just be in a safe environment to talk these things through. I never had too much of that on the way through, you know what I'm saying, and also taking on board things in the past. It's really, really hard, you know what I mean, and because of the brokenness in our community, we can't just get jobs. We said, yeah, we're going to get a job. When you keep on saying get lost, you know what I mean, when you're walking for the interview because of your colour, who do you cry to then? Who do you moan to there? You know what I'm saying? And man's are saying, I can just do a thing and make a quick G. You know what I'm saying? And it's very hard, you know what I mean? And then being a Christian, being nice, and but it seems like everybody, you know what I mean? So there's so many things. This is what I'm saying. This is what about midlife crisis it is, and it's hopefully I explain myself okay there, guys.
Yeah, perfectly. I mean, I agree with you as well. But my thing is that when you're having that relationship, yes, you have to create that space to talk, create that space to be able to relate to each other, or relate how openly and honestly how you feel. You have to do that. You have to have that space, that place to do that. Sometimes, obviously, time life doesn't give you time to do that, but you have to remember the importance of it.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
Within the marriage, and not so much about going to somebody else to fix your marriage, but being able to do that within the marriage that you have created within your marriage.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think that it's just generally, not even within a marriage, but also outside of a marriage, be able to talk. Obviously, you got to know who you can trust and who you can talk to, but it's just that whole general thing of, like you said, about our mental health. And sometimes we do hold it in, and sometimes, because Alan said it really, it's like we give labels to people and say, well, I'm a black man, so therefore I don't do that. And it's like, and that's not, I don't think that's helpful, because it's easy to hide behind, to say, well, no, we don't do that. And we have so many things as black people that we don't do, where really it's like, yeah, but why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
We gotta let go, man. We gotta let go. Oh, second, Alan, you're talking there and you're on mute, bro, my brother.
Why not? Because sometimes it's part of our bringing. It's what we know. It's our trauma that we're dealing with. It may go back generations. So these are stuff that we are highlighting in the play that we know we need to sort out. So for another thing is that we also know is where that black men as a whole, we don't really do the doctor thing, the hospital thing. True. Either. You know what I'm saying? And these are stuff that, that growing up now and reaching the age where I'm 50, you realize that some of these stuff that we now do, we have to do it for our spouse or for our kids or for the next generation. So I'm just in the play, we're highlighting some of the issues, some of the obvious issues that sometimes we know it's there, but we still play it down. But the issue is, the reason why black men are dying of say prostate cancer is because we're not going to get getting checked early enough.
Me there, Bridget.
You understand?
Yeah. But no,
the reason why our marriages are not working is because we're not going to the counselling. Understand? So it's there, and it's just we need to be more open and honest about some of our failures. So the play just acts as a
Bro, we're just talking about the title, guys. I hope people listening in or watching this on YouTube, guys. We're just talking about the title, Midlife Crisis, and I'm sure that we could go on for another 2-3 hours here still, you know what I'm saying, debating the whole thing about, and that's what's beautiful about this. It creates so if everybody wants to, I think you guys need to have the after party discussion. You know what I'm saying? Just say, let's go to so and so's yard, man. Let's cook up 2 food there still, let's break it down, until 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, we need to let it go, guys.
but so we're talking about. So let's talk now about like some of the characters in the play. Cool. Lorenzo and Lloyd, they're not really going through midlife crisis per se. So maybe you guys can tell us about
man.
your particular character and how you fit into this midlife crisis thing.
Yeah, man. Lorenzo, you want to take it off?
Yeah, cool. So I played Calvin. And without giving away too much, obviously, he's just come from prison and he's staying with the Bailey family, who is going through the midlife crisis. And he's going through a phase in his life where he's constantly seeking acceptance from people. And he has tried to change his life around from his life of crime and doing all kinds of foolishness. And he has decided to try and join the church family. However, they are rejecting him and not treating him nicely, which has caused him to potentially, I don't know, let's see where the play goes, but
I like that. Yeah. Okay, right, Lloyd, what you saying, bro? What's your role?
So, I play.
Talk to me, man.
I play a young man, a man who is driven by his goals, who knows what he wants, and in pursuit of what he wants.
And what is your conflict?
What do you want?
Unfortunately, the person that he wants, she's married, but I believe that she's not really going to continue with the marriage.
Oh, so yeah, okay. So you're helping to
he's a marriage breaker.
Yes,
home wrecker.
He's a home wrecker. He's a home wrecker.
No,
he's a marriage counselor.
He wants the best for the lady in the marriage and for himself, and the best he feels is himself.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I think the guys are probably scared. They think that they're going to give too much away. But really and truly, what it is the wife is going through her midlife crisis, and so is the husband, right? And so the home isn't as it should be because both of them are going through their midlife crisis, right? So there is a slight division within the marriage, and so Lloyd's character offers some respite to the wife.
Oh,
the husband.
Respite. Okay, it's like that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Reality. You know what I'm saying?
So
the husband isn't taking care of business because he's going through his issues, right? And so the issue that the wife is going through now is that, listen, I'm in this marriage, but it's not exciting as it should be. It's not as fun as it should be. Blah blah blah. And there's somebody else who is probably giving me the attention that I'm not getting from my husband. How does she now? That she needs. How does she now manage that situation where her husband isn't giving her the attention and somebody outside is? You know, and so we have that tension as a Christian woman. Married woman, godly woman, but the husband is not delivering the goods. You know, she's frustrated. Whatever. But there's somebody out there who is, waving, candies and sugar and honey.
I'm ready.
Right.
Yeah,
and so it's the real issue in the church, in the marriage, that sometimes there are outside temptations. Yeah. And how do we deal with that?
All right, guys, you heard this. This is the squeaky bum. Yo, guys, you don't even need to go and watch no Bel Air or Netflix, man. You can Netflix. You can leave Netflix at home. Like, you don't need to watch no You or anything out there. Still, yeah, we done traumatizing relationship thing because we got another traumatizing church drama. We don't even need Greenleaf, brethren. You know what I'm saying? You know, Greenleaf is off. His pause is finished completely. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So we're gonna get the UK Brownleaf. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we start the new, you know, and yeah, it's no, that sounds, and you know what the guys is, you know what's that's crazy, it's not even the case you guys have eased into this, you know, and you've gone straight for the juggler with his subjects, and I do appreciate the you know, this is the one where, you know, it really is a reflective things, especially for people who are married at my age group, because it could be, and I think that it'd be good, you know, to really keep open dialogue or even set up dialogue spaces for people afterwards, because I think that there will be a lot of trauma afterwards, you know, when people watch something, because I think that sometimes when people come out of a phase in their life, you know, they can spiral out, and it may be really good for you guys to reach out to some strong counselling or Christian counsellors in the local area to support this, because I do feel, I'm not saying it's a real issue, and I know you said a minority of the time, bro, but I believe getting on in life now, I see it as majority of the time. I do think that we hide a lot of things. I did with somebody who studies, you know, the whole marriage thing and whatsoever, and everyone thinks it's the man doing the dirty and the woman, but really a lot of times, if you include emotional affairs, it's a lot of times the other way, and there's a lot of things, and it's always kept under the carpet, but nobody knows, and we just continually not growing as a community and sorting these things out, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the effort to put this out, and absolutely on this, man, because, you know, to do this and to bring this to people's faces through creative arts is just talking about it in this conversation, guys, has been fun, and everyone having different opinions, and I can just see how the night will go anyway. So yeah, but 100% I will be there. I've booked it off long time anyway still, yeah, so I'm making sure I will be there on Sunday the 30th, the day before Valentine's Day. But as Christians, we don't bother with the Valentine's Day thing, do we? You know what I'm saying? We don't bother, so don't worry about Valentine's Day. It's too expensive. It's a commercial commodity. It's some synagogue thing. So, you know, we not do no pagan thing here. So we just, you know, instead of, you know, we can meet up, and don't worry about being vexed for Valentine's Day. We save it for the next weekend. You got a week to sort it out, man. And you know what I mean? And you got prayer meetings to sort it out as well. But listen, before I have to close this off, guys, you know what I mean, it's been a fantastic conversation. Anything you guys want to just finish off on, well,
I just had an interesting thought, while we were talking. And this could go into a long debate, but I'm just going to say it anyway.
Yeah, go on.
When is the point in which someone in a marriage should say, okay, this isn't working out anymore. It's been 6 years of counseling or 3 years of counseling. Maybe it's time to end this. Is it, for example, I don't know, 6 years into that counseling phase, you say, okay, it's now is enough? Or is it 3 years into that counseling phase? Would you waste 3 years trying to work this out? It's just a thought. It's just a thought.
That's a really good question.
But it's a good question. But I'm thinking that if you are getting the counseling and you're applying the counsel,
right,
then surely the marriage should, as far as you Jenny was saying, then the marriage should become fruitful. Exactly.
But what if it doesn't? That's the thing.
But then maybe the counselors are not worth their money, man.
Yeah.
So is it the counselors to blame, or is it just time to just not?
I think there's two things, well, three things, right? One, yes, it could be the counsellors, but then I guess you would have figured that out from before, right? You know, you're not just going just to have a chat. There are things and homework that needs to be done that you should do, and you know, and put everything into it. So both of you would need to have a commitment to say, yeah, we're doing this for that end goal. 3, it could be then, or sorry, 2, then yes, it could be one of the couple who's just like turning up and not really putting anything into it, and maybe they've kind of exited already. But 3, it's understanding that there are stages of marriage, and you know, there's the honeymoon stage. I can't remember what all the stages are, but there is a stage between, I think it's 7 and 9, where it's like, that is the stage where it could be done, but you have to kind of hold on just a little while longer.
7 and 9 is in what, the 7th year between the 9th year? Is that what you mean?
I think that's what it is. And then after that, it really is a choice of, are you going to be I'm just going to tolerate this for the rest of my life, or are you going to be like, you know what? No, let's get a better relationship. And it may be going back and looking at your history and looking at your childhood or other trauma that's happened in your life. Or it just may be, you know what, let's just be committed and get it done. So yeah, I think that it's understanding marriage, but also your attitude towards the counselling as well. Yeah,
it takes 2 to tango. You know what I'm saying? It takes, for me, it takes the two of you. What you tend to find is that when you're going through counselling, both of you got stuff to do. Yeah, and when one doesn't do the job, no matter what one does, you know what I'm saying? And I always say, all I can do is affect what I can affect, which is me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I can say what I can say to my missus or to my children or to whoever out there, but whatever situation I'm in, whether it looks bad on me or looks bad on them, what can I change for next time? And that's all I can change. I can't just spend all day long killing myself off trying to change them. What I can do, all I can do is change what's inside me and be better myself, whether it takes a while or I have to work on myself for a bit or this and that, whatever I do, I can change me. But if the other person is just sticking to the guns and like, you know what I mean, there's only so much you can do. And I agree with you. Is it a waste of time? I would say, you know what, you're giving it a go. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You can't put numbers on it for me. You know, end of the day, so you've done your best. Be conscious is clear. You do your best. You do what you have to do. Be conscious clear. There's nothing like wasted time. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at life as a waste of time, listen, it'll just send you mad. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely going to midlife crisis by the time you're 28 years old. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And you'll be there stuck in there. My thing is a case of live life to the fullest every day. You know what I mean? It sounds very hippie-ish, but you have to go hard, go ham, make sure you maximize your life and do the best you can for yourself, because the moment you try to tell everybody else to do things to suit yourself, and you can't control it, mess up, man. But you don't live life in regrets, bro. The moment you start, because you're pushing on the poor girl that you don't know her personal trauma until you get married and this, that, and she could have been messed up as a child. You know what I mean? And
you know what? I'm about to say something else. I'm not even going to say it because it's going to add an extra 30 minutes. I'm not even going to go into it, bro. I'm not even going to go into it. I'm going to just leave it.
No, Lorenzo, just give them the details of the show.
Yeah, man.
Tickets.
Yeah. So
go for it. What tickets?
It's the Crescent Theatre, Crescent Theatre, Birmingham.
Right, it's at the Crescent Theatre on February the 13th. Right. And
the website, it's a Crescent Theatre website.
There you go.
And tickets are $17.50.
There you go.
In advance, and £20 on the door.
Easy 20.
And
easy 20.
And the next weekend we're in Leicester on the 19th at the Sue Townsend Theatre. Tickets are £15 in advance, $10.50 at the door, and you get your tickets from theticketsellers.co.uk.
Brilliant.
So we're going to be in Birmingham on the 13th of February at the Crescent Theatre, and we're going to be in Leicester at the Sue Townsend Theatre on the 19th. Tickets for that is theticketsellers.co.uk, or just hook us up on Facebook or information all there. Check me out, Alan Charles.
Yeah, man.
And so we're coming to Birmingham. Like I said, Birmingham is my second home. Love Birmingham. So come and support. I mean, you guys came out for lockdown. That was great, but this one is even more hotter. Midlife crisis, for better, not worse.
Jesus, this is heat, bro. Absolute heat. Listen, guys, I want to thank the cast here for jumping onto this conversation. Thanks for being so real on this conversation. It just makes my show edgy. So I'm just cool with that. I'm gonna put this out, push this out there. And really thanks for you guys' time, and we appreciate you guys sewing into this project and being part of this project and really putting these things out there for people as well. So guys, please support these guys. I'm gonna put all the links to everything in the description of this video. If you're listening onto the radio, please guys check out some of the advertising that we're gonna have on our Instagram, affinityextra.com. We'll be supporting the ministry of Alan Charles and what he's doing out here, because I know there's plenty more to come after this as well. So we do encourage you guys doing that anyway still. But listen, guys, keep on being creative, keep on doing what you're doing, and we're here to support you here at Affinity Extra, because we're here to celebrate the things of blackness. Anyway, so but get myself you know what I'm saying. Well, listen, guys, nothing but love, guys, man. Blessings, man.
Bless up, everyone. Bless up. Let's take it.
Thank you.
Hey, this is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, And also check us out on Insta and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please, 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 please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.
See where the crew goes, move. Make it look easy like free throws, move. I am not giving you handouts, move. Don't need to flex with the cash out. I'm not doing this to appease you. The music will never be see-through. I never bluff, I cannot fail. I do not rush, don't leave no trails. Keep moves on hush, hates on my tail. Why you act tough? Work comes you bail. I do not take this for granted, it comes and it goes. Too many evils that's planted, I'm ready for the blows. Why you move so slow? I've been good to pay the road. Why you move so slow?
Yeah, guys, that was the great interview of Midlife Crisis. We're going to straight into another interview of guys. I got just interviews after interviews going on, ready to flood out this situation, just have talking about life and culture, and that's how we do it. This track is called Move by Spencer Kane, and this is Roger here on the It Show, Roger Moore. We celebrate gospel music of black origin, and this is how we do it, man. My next interview is with a talented guy, yeah, absolutely talented guy. You'll listen more about him in a bit. You know, we got musicians all over the space, man. This guy's called Benjamin Wright, and we have to salute his ability. And this is when we know what we can achieve as black people. We can lift up our head and says, you know what, we're top of the game.
I am not giving you handouts, move. Don't need to flex with the cash out. I'm not doing this to appease you. The music will never be see-through.
I never bluff, I cannot fail. I do not rush, don't leave no trails. Keep moves on hush, shades on my tail. Why you act tough? Work comes you bail. I do not take this for granted, it comes and it goes. Too many evils that's planted, I'm ready for the blows. Why you move so slow? I've been good to pay the road. Why you move so slow? As soon as I
but he still brings his thing in with the strings arrangement. That people would think that, oh, you only can do certain style when he's, you know, when you're a drummer, you're a hip hop drummer, oh, he's a this drummer. But this guy brought his A game to whatever, whether it's soul, R&B.
When somebody asks him, what do you play? Did you play any favorite genre? He says, I play all genres. I can fit in all genres.
I love it. That's swagger.
Listen to him. I can fit in all genres. And matter of fact, listen to this. He's one of the few string arrangers and classically orchestra trained that has worked at the Nobel Peace Prize on 2 consecutive occasions, where he conducts the choir, the orchestra.
Wow.
On 2 consecutive. So this is how they're regarding Wright Jr. This is how they're regarding. He's the elite.
Affinity extra, be extra.
Yeah. People, this is your boy here, Roger Moore, and I feel to here to celebrate gospel music of black origin. Also, we're here to talk about the history of black music and the successes of it, because knowing our history, guys, is so important. I've been blessed. I'm going to be talking about to actually my colleague here, Kevin Tommins. I'm going to be talking to his cousin soon again. I bet you guys never knew they were cousins. Bishop Jackson. I'm going to touch base with him because it's important to know history. When it comes to black music, it's important to understand about history about black Christianity. People say stop looking back, but the reality show is that we have so much to be proud of, and we have been told all our lives that we follow. No. We are the inventors and the instigators of the best things of this world. Yeah, too often we've been told that we have been civilized. We were civilized, but we were the one who invented the word. You know what I'm saying? And whatsoever, out there still, yeah. But I got a quick question just to kick off with. We're gonna go into Benjamin Wright, yeah. Now, with my brother Kevin, yeah, and I have to salute Kevin, guys. We have put together a massive piece of work right now online. It's not massive to me, but you know what? And Kevin's pulled me up and said, Roger, we're doing a great thing. I'm thinking, what are you on about, bro? We're just talking on a mic, you know what I mean, in the video. But we are doing an amazing thing here because, I have learned a lot on this journey. This is part of my education. I'm doing it online, guys. You are hearing my conversations that I'm having with Kevin. Before we even came online, we'll be talking like this, you know what I'm saying? So you are privy to a great conversation educating me about we are not inventing success. We are looking at the history of how to be successful so we can be successful today. That's what we are doing here right now in this station. And anybody who knows Roger doesn't really care about Beyonce and all these flashy secular artists. I was never into it. I'm a gospel guy all day long, but I understand the importance to learn from their journey, because you know what, they actually understand some of the basic biblical principles which we in church we don't do, i.e. hard work. We don't want hard work. We think God is going to deliver and give us everything without hard work anyway. Still, yeah, that's just the way as Christians feel anyway. So how we think. Sorry, opinions out there, but listen. Again, before I chop into it, Kevin, I was in a conversation with somebody on the station, and I said to him that we are the inventors of as black people, as black music, rock and roll. You got things like jazz and a lot of music that we kind of like named in. Got named up while in slavery, reggae and whatsoever. Not in slavery, but you know what I mean. Moved over into the Afro-Americans. The Afro slaves kind of created numerous popular styles of music that we enjoy now. Yeah. Now, when talking to one of my colleagues now, he's going to be coming on the station, and I would like to get a response of himself on this because as a music historian, he said. But you did with devaluing the input of instruments that were created by European people. So how can we say it's black music when we're utilizing European technology and music?
Okay, let me make this abundantly clear.
Okay.
Any of the, should I say, explosive impact of popular music as such, it was led by blacks, a lot of it. Yes, there were few whites who were at the cutting edge as well. But we need to remember that when we're talking about European instruments, there were instruments prior to European instruments from the other empires that originated in Africa and so on. If you look in the Bible, they've been talking about string instruments long before Britain and France created power brokers and empires.
Okay.
So what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
So things like jazz, like jazz, and he's saying like things like rock and roll, like, you know what I mean, like rock and roll. How can rock and roll? Where's the guitar come from? European instrument, and we're the one who flashy it. So he's just saying we utilize the European instrument and gave our swagger to it, but we learned the European way how to
it's totally incorrect because the rhythm and blues came from the South, and it came from Africa originally because the migration because you think about the syncopation and movements, the percussions. It's when we talk about Benjamin Wright, he's originally a blues man.
Okay.
He's a blues man. He's a blues man, but he created a string style through the blues, a swing.
Okay. So the rudiments of our groove and what's in our blood and what we do, you know what I'm saying, comes out whatever we do. It's like a table. Like this table is made by IKEA, yeah. But by the time I go, that doesn't mean IKEA gets any credit because it made the table. Yeah, man, we get it.
Remember, he needs to understand that. Of course, blacks couldn't get a chance to make the instruments, of course, the European instruments, because they didn't have the funding to do it. They didn't have the technology. But what they had was the rhythm and the spirit of the music in them. It was built in them. It was built in the DNA. If you go to a black church, brother, that is going to a black church. If you've been to a black church where there's no instruments, they make instruments with a voice in the end. I love, syncopation.
Yeah.
And that is just as powerful, a cappella rhythms. Yeah. So, yes, of course, a European company made the guitar. And what is your point? But the brother who had the instrument, master it and make it something else, with it.
Make it sing in it.
Yeah, because when you get a brush to paint, you determine what you want the brush to execute.
Yeah, true,
it comes from you. That's total nonsense. Nobody can tell me that foolishness, because matter of fact, the music industry didn't come exciting until Sam Cooke's, the Otis Redding, the Aretha Franklin's, and all of them started to get in the mix. It didn't go over the $1 billion mark until Motown and them start to kick.
All right.
Yeah, because remember, by the time 67 arrived, Motown was the king of the pop charts at one point. They were the only label with their collection of roster of artists that was able to compete against the Beatles and the Rolling Stone invasion.
Wow.
Hello.
Wow.
So when you're talking about history and so on, yes, the brothers invented it, but we had our own attitude and skills to put it to it, interpretation. That's the difference. So when with Eric Clapton and all of them would tell us that we learned from the BB Kings, etc., etc. That's where we learn our musical intelligence and so on. So nobody look. I know my history. So the brother talking, he doesn't know fart what he's talking about, because the most of everyone. When you look at, say, for instance, Cat Stevenson.
Okay.
Cat Stevens used a lot of blacks to create his musical expression. Phil Upchurch, which I'm going to be doing. I probably might do Phil Upchurch one day. One of the technocrats who was one of the key studio men that came out of Chicago, bro.
Okay, cool.
And this brother worked on the first best-selling jazz album of all time, which is Breezin' by Quincy Jones. Mr. Phil Upchurch is a technocrat, musical genius. So
okay. So ultimately, you're not having it.
What is the point? What is the point? What is the point? Even if they make it, it depends on how the instrumentation and how it's being used. It's like, how do you use your studio? You got your own styling. You use it uniquely to you, to your musical to your creative DNA.
But the company you made. Yeah. Guys.
Branding.
So that's your no, but a valid point for my colleague, but that's beautifully shut down. Right, let's get to it, guys. Right, so I am somebody who has been mentioned to me a number of times, a elder statesman, and sometimes when you listen to R&B hits and you think it's simplicity and its quality, you don't realize the high levels of instrumentation, the simpleness and the accuracy of some of them string arrangements in the background, and how tracks are bingo. I mean, I must say, I've been listening to a couple of R&B tracks from back in the day, and if you listen to them, they're so simple, but when certain things come out, they go new. You know sounds in there, and you just hear them things coming in like this. Ooh, what was that? It made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? And you think nothing of it. But these instrumentations are being put in place by absolutely master craftsmen who knows how to pull on your strings, literally, you know what I'm saying, with the string instrument. And we have to, and then to be honest, growing up, anything to do with orchestra, we just assume everything's white. We just assume anything white is orchestra. Black, we don't do them things. We do the bass guitar, we do drums, we do, funk stuff. We don't do orchestra. We haven't been given access to them things. We ain't been schooled that way. We always have to go to the white guy to do lead guitar and to the orchestra. That's how we see it. I'm afraid that is not true. That's far from the truth itself. Ask that to Jimi Hendrix and ask that to Benjamin Wright. Yeah, Benjamin Wright Jr. Yeah, 100%. So I am on that lead, guys. Yeah, I am gonna leave. Oh, but just gonna slip in. This guy's actually worked with some top dudes as well, guys. Now Timberlake. Now I'll try and do. Anyway, I tried it. Right there, and all the things up there, get and them high notes that he's doing anyway. So yeah.
Cry me.
Listen, man, all them arrangements, you know what I'm saying, that's in place. He has put in place. So listen, guys, 100%. Let's do this, Kevin. Chop it up and let's get into him. Let me get my wiki out on my iPad and let's do it, bro.
Yeah. Brother born the 11th of July 1946. That means he's 10 years older than me, almost. He's 10 years older than me.
All right, man. Right? All right.
And he's born the same month. He's just born a few days difference, prof. Mm-hmm. So he's 10 years older than me. So he would be this year. This year is going to be, of course, he's 11 years. This year is going to be 76 years old.
Fair play to the dude.
And the brother has about at least 50 years worth of sonic development. 50, say about 55. Mm-hmm. Because he started his career from the 1960s. And he started to write what you call string charting and arrangement from school days. Okay. From that early. Yes, he started to do actually arranging charts and notes and putting brass instruments as well as string instruments in the appropriate place in the band.
And would you say,
yes.
Was he part of an affluent background, or was he on the?
No, he was just a working class. He was from Greenville, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Greenville, Mississippi, which is not one of the wealthiest areas where you find wealthy blacks at all. Because you probably will find wealthy blacks if you move to, say, Chicago, where you have Vivian Carter and Braxton, who were the first, would you say, successful black recording executive. This is another story to talk about. Wow. Talk about Vivian now. Vivian is probably one of the first recorded, documented female black recording executive from the 1950s. So, brother, you hear the tip of hey. Okay, let's concentrate.
Let's hit some of the people that he looked at, he worked around.
Well, first of all, before we actually go to that, one of the first person he encountered was a Ted Baker. I'm not sure, Ted something or another, that he did live work with, and he actually at one time met Duke Ellington on behalf of a gentleman named Fats Ford, who was an instrumentalist. I think he was a brass instrument player actually. and he believed in Benjamin so much that he started to teach Benjamin the craft and throw him into the deep end and said, told Quincy Jones that this is a promising. And Quincy Jones talked to him for 20 minutes. Not Quincy Jones so much, but Duke Ellington. He met Duke Ellington in his early days, and that was what changed his life.
Trumpet player Duke, trumpet player Duke Ellington, guys, man. You know what I mean? Wiki that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So, and the thing about it, that I think that made him successful as well. His father purchased electric piano on hire purchase for him, small, and that became his ticket to fame.
Okay.
His father invested, and his father believed in him, and so he invested in this instrument. And also Benjamin Wright Jr. is one of the first students to do courses with Berkeley and Carl Fisher Institute. These two institutions used to do correspondence courses before they actually did. They created their own campuses. So Duke Ellington was a Berkeley student long before they had campuses.
Okay, fair play.
So he's in other words, he's a trained, classically trained string arranger, horn arranger, and band leader. He's a classically trained. So this brother is actually he's regarded as one of the best classically string arrangers in the business. Right. He's regarded. Well, you just look at the credits. Actually, the credits, as far as when my colleague was telling me, it said over 400 credits. Over 400 credits.
And the thing is, bro, just a point there, yeah. Again, you know, guys, please forgive me for people out there. When I chose instrument as a child, and we choose it based upon what pastor wants us to play in church, and I think too often we've missed a generation in the UK of talent, because you know, I remember when I brought home a trombone to my mom and dad, and they sent it back and said, "You're gonna learn how to play piano," because all they could see is the piano is something that they couldn't see the trombone fitting within the structures of our music type. You know what I'm saying? How's that going to fit in our space? And I think too often, guys, you know, we see orchestral stuff as something that doesn't apply to us, that doesn't work for our community. But listen, guys, this is in the 40s and 50s and 60s. It was Benjamin started. Remember, Benjamin actually started playing string and horn as instruments from the 60s, actually, before he went completely professional. Before he went to Chicago to develop his craft. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah. So. Okay, look.
Let's get into it, bro.
This is what people need to understand. What was fascinating about Benjamin? Benjamin went on exploratory learning. He made it a commitment. From his time, his father gave him that piano, and he knew that his father purchased it on credit. He decided that he was going to be a master of string arrangements.
Cool.
Master to actually know how to use strings within a composition and how to give it that special flavor. As a matter of fact, Benjamin is so good that he can actually create strings as a rhythm section. That's what he did with Off the Wall. He created it in a rhythm pattern, a drumming beat. Zeus!
Proper.
Look. There's only two guys I know so far as string arranger. Larry Gold, who did Cry Me River, who was with Benjamin, was playing on that same album. Those two, Cry Me and cheers. And those two brothers are my favorite string arrangers. And of course, you have Tom Bell is another one. That's another, Tom Bell, when we talk about Jamaican descendant and born, Tom Bell of Philly. All these guys are master at strings.
Brilliant.
So when you think about it, Benjamin came so good that when he eventually migrated to Chicago,
okay,
you check the Chicago, he was the in-demand, one of the in-demand musicians in Chicago, and he was the copyist. The copyist, that simply means that he did the copying work for all the string masters out of Chicago. Charles Stepney, Richard Evans,
Listen, guys, can I get a little squeeze? So, guys, like, he looks like this guy in Chicago worked with this guy. So, if you guys really recognize these names, he's recording music with these premier bands. And now, I don't know much about these guys, but this is a Jackie Wilson. There's the Chilites. I don't know. Shylights. Sorry, guys. Shylights. The
Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis Mayfield. There's Jerry Butler. The Impressions. Okay, Impressions. Yeah, man. And there's some Donna Hathaway, Jeannie Barge. You know what I'm saying? Charles Stephanie. Yeah. And he's also worked with a number of guys who had strong relations. Now, I've seen this record company before, Chess Records. He's worked with Mercury Records. I've definitely heard of them.
That's correct. Yes.
Curtom Records and Brunswick Records. Anyone I ain't seen before is Curtom Records anyway. So yeah, but he's worked with all these guys in his 60s and 70s, and he's not even just got started.
Yes, that's right. That's what is laughable is that he developed such a demand while he was in Chicago that his name was spreading towards the East Coast and the West Coast. So by the time he reached the West Coast to Los Angeles, where he moved with his family and his wife,
LA, yeah, man.
They one of the first person to get in touch with him was the former Motown A&R man, Mickey Stevens.
Okay,
because Mickey Stevens because you have to understand the music industry is a small fraternity, and anybody's good, it flies around. And sometimes they might not be able to get Benjamin, but they know about Benjamin. They hope to work with him because he's busy on different sessions.
Yeah, man.
Yes, he's busy. So they were waiting hopefully one day, and then when Benjamin got into the biggest mistake that some of them made is that they, like for instance, when Benjamin was working with the Temptations, he became their band leader, and when he was instrumental in helping them to lead Motown and go to Atlantic Records, and he was ready to produce them, and they told Benjamin that you're not good for the investment of us putting Temptations on the contract at Atlantic because you're not a big name.
Wow.
So they laid him off. They told him you can't really do this. And then what happened was that during that time, Quincy Jones gave him a call.
Oh, that's not bad.
Quincy Jones. It's not bad. Said Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones said, basically, when Quincy Jones called him, he said, "Quincy who? Quincy?" Quincy. And then a few times again. No, when he's the Quincy says, I'm doing paraphrasing here. I said, "Hello, this is Quincy Jones." And Benjamin said, "Quincy who?" It's like me. It's like one of the top cats from the UK, California. This is Mr. So and so, and you're saying, nah. You're saying, no, this guy's taking a pee. Yeah. And then the guy says again, "This is so and so." And then for the third time, he says it again. And the brother is not getting, and Quincy Jones is not coming off the phone, you see.
Come on.
Come on. And then what Quincy Jones said, eventually Quincy Jones gave him an address to come to in Bel Air. Now, of course, Bel Air is the wealthy section of Los Angeles now, Hollywood. Yeah. Of course, this is a place where a lot of people have servants and etc. So they're big homes, need I say more, mansions.
Yeah.
So he went up there and eventually realized that this was for real. It met Quincy and met his wife, and then after he met Quincy, said, "Oh yes," and then Quincy said, "I'm going to give you 30 days to develop a composition for Michael Jackson's up and coming studio album. That's Off the Wall."
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
And the funny thing, at the same time, he was hired by Earth, Wind and Fire, Morris White, to do the strings on Boogie Wonderland, which was a monster hit.
Okay, yes.
He did the strings on it.
Okay,
that's Benjamin String.
Not bad. Okay, cool.
So all the people who told him he couldn't do anything, he said that I'm going to show you. He was crying about it. He said, "Show you." And the brother went from unknown, known in the industry somewhat, but unknown to become in demand. Remember those two tracks. I mean, Off the Wall is the first most recognized string arrangement in the world in terms of leading.
Okay, I mean, I need to make sure I listen to that again, But
you got to listen to it again, bro.
Because the thing is, Boogie Land, I just remember the. Okay, yeah. Sorry, guys, you guys hear it. Sorry if we just get into it. I remember that because, like I said, there was a phase where I listened to a lot of live Earth, Wind and Fire stuff, and as a bass player, just picking up the hook. But then when you hear them things that I'm focusing on the bass, but you can hear these pushes and everyone's doing the pushes and I get it. Boogie Wonderland, and that's in the 79 and 1980. These hits were hitting. So you're talking about in the turns of the late 90s, very late 90s, going into the 80s. This is the calls that he's getting. Just when I was a little bit of I was 4 years old at the time, so he was making moves.
That's right.
Back then,
because with Off the Wall album, matter of fact, the album initially, I think the Off the Wall, they produced all four. He did 4 singles that was featured on it, and all 4 of those singles, as far as I know, they've all gone gold or platinum. Just the singles that Benjamin actually did the arrangement on.
That's incredible. that's incredible.
And then, so when you think about Off the Wall, the Off the Wall album, both digitally and hard copy, it sold about 18 to 20 million in total.
Jeez, and that's what I'm saying, bro. And this is where top producers do their thing, you know what I'm saying, and they bring together Quincy Jones, they bring together the best of the best, you know what I'm saying, to produce. And that's why sometimes people look at producers, and this is something that we need to learn from in the gospel industry. Sometimes we expect the executive producer to be a guy who's going to play an instrument, everything. No, the executive producer brings together and understands how to bring the ingredients in, when things come together, he can turn around and say, "No, that's too much ad-libbing, let's get so and so." And when he goes, we need to get BVs for that section. You don't need to deliver. And I think sometimes our education in the music industry, when it comes to the UK gospel, is I've got to do it all, and my musician, he's going to produce my track. No. Your musician could come up with the idea, and then you bring in somebody to do the strings, you bring in somebody to play the piano in, and this is what we need to stop doing in the UK. And when I listen to UK products and US products, that's where sometimes the US wins every time, is because the US brings in the specialists in each instrumentation. So you hear a difference between somebody who produced a track done by, we used to, part of the band, what we do is get the drummer to put the drum sequence in. You get the piano guy to actually play the piano in properly. You get somebody who knows a bit more about second keys to put the second keys in, and you get specialists, and you can hear the difference to somebody who's doing it by themselves. So my encouragement and something to learn from this is the way that likes of Quincy Jones, top guys who got skills themselves, Quincy Jones, and also you got to figure Earth, Wind and Fire is already banned. So why on earth are they bringing in somebody to come and do the strings? They understood they could just groove it themselves, but no, they said, he's the best, come in here, do your thing.
And you got to remember with Maurice White. Maurice White was a session musician. He's the co-founder of Earth, Wind and Fire, but he was a session musician at Chess, so he knew what Benjamin could do.
Oh, he was at Chess Records. Okay, okay.
And yes, so he knew about him and Charles Stepney and all of them knew about what this gentleman could do already.
But
so that's actually this is interesting. When Benjamin actually came to the studio to actually do to actually conduct the orchestra, Bruce Swedien, who used to work and listen to and actually witness Benjamin played on sessions, said to Quincy Jones, this is going to be a piece of cake. Yeah, before the actual session starts to do the strings, he said to Quincy, Benjamin is here. Benjamin's here. This is going to be a piece of cake. That's that was the level that prior to coming to the West Coast, where Benjamin, him and his band was so much. If you ever hear the one-off album that he did, it was so cutting edge. I mean, it actually is a collector's item now because it's total masterpiece. It was ahead of its time. The album, and not only that, when Quincy Jones heard the track, when Benjamin raised his bat and start, Quincy Jones was on the ground rolling around, and he said, "What up?" Quincy, he just blew Quincy, and Quincy said, when Michael said that he didn't want the strings to be the leading, Quincy said, "We're leaving it in." That is a signature.
Yeah, man. Let's sit down, son. Just sit down. Michael, what do you know, man? Sit down, boy.
Sit down. Yeah, Let me tell you, it's going to be on, bro. It's going to be on.
Brilliant. But let's move forward, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we've licked off the early 80s. Now, everybody think after doing Michael Jackson, he then did a couple more tracks with Michael Jackson and he just retired. Did he do that, bro?
Well, no. I mean, he just got started because after that explosion, with Michael Jackson, he went on. This is interesting. He went on to start to do stuff with solo records.
Oh,
Shalimar,
yes.
Whispers came out of, and he worked on their platinum albums as well and gold albums. The track "The Night to Remember," he did the strings on that. The strings and all that.
Okay. I'm just checking it out right now. Let's check this out, man. Because Shalimar, you know what? So there's some American groups, guys. I'm going, what on earth are they, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the kind of big bands, man.
Well, the thing about you need to understand with Benjamin Wright. He works closely with some of the best legendary string arrangers in the music industry, full stop.
Come on.
He was mentored by Charles Stepney, a brilliant string arranger, master string arranger. He was mentored by Richard Evans, who taught composition at Berkeley. Remember, the guy taught composition.
Jeez.
These are guys who mentor him.
He's got the best of the best plugging into him, mate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And that's what we need to recognize. What can I say? You know? It's the mentorship, and which is where the breakdown of the UK gospel industry is not as moved on because the baton change, as you would call it.
Yes. You're talking the baton changes.
A teeth is off Kevin all day long, but I'm gonna use the word baton change. You know what I'm saying? The baton. What do you call it? Baton change or baton exchange? What do you call it?
I call it baton change. Baton change or baton exchange. Depends on how you want to phrase it. But it's where you actually give a youngster the opportunity. And as Bruce Swedien would say, you baptize them, you put them into the fire.
Yeah. Oh, bro, listen, man.
You put them into the fire. Go in there, and then like Quincy Joe is stand up and watch.
That's no, 100%. But what I want to do is hit off before because the thing is, guys, we ain't got much time left. But I want to hit out now. In the 90s, in my period when I was listening to music, now still, he was licking out with a number of people. I can't believe. Some of his samples were used with stuff with artists, and this is coming to the sampling era. So the sampling era, now this is so crucial in the 90s, like we just sampled. But the thing is, what were we sampling? We were sampling masterpieces. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely masterpieces. They said that artists like James Brown that would get, he's the most Isley Brothers. You got all these guys and all these guys.
Remember Quincy? Remember, say not only Quincy Jones, they were sampling James Mack. James Mack. James Mack was the guy who taught a lot of the string masters, like Tom Washington and so on, how to do strings. And remember, Benjamin was under the tutelage of James Mack and so on, because they were there all together. These guys, James Mack. James Mack. God, I'm so sorry that he passed away, but he's another one again for us to study, because boy, some of the strings arrangements he did, the string arrangements were so brilliant that P. Diddy and Jay-Z, all of them use this master. This is the legacy of where Benjamin came from when he was in Chicago. He was born in Greensville, Mississippi, but he cut his craft in Chicago. Yeah, man.
But he continued working, bro, with groups like Tony Tone.
Brother. We talk about, if you ever heard what he did with Tony and Shalamar and Whispers, and the list goes on. Remember, he did stuff with Destiny Child.
Tony Braxton.
Tony Braxton. You know what I mean, some of, and all those, all those tracks, all those albums that he did, they were multi-platinum, bro.
And
they weren't just 1 million copies. They weren't just 1 million copies. They were 2, 3, 4, 5 million.
Listen, bro, one of my favorite groups. It sounds weird, bro. Jamiroquai. He was even working with Jamiroquai, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro, like Jamiroquai,
this guy went all over the place.
But he did some stuff with gospel as well. He's worked on In the Morning. In the morning. He's featured in that. Also, his work going back in time when it comes to gospel. Let's gospelize it a bit. He's worked with the likes of Rance Allen as well.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Actually, I belong to you. I belong to you. He did the horns and that. I belong to you. He did the horns and that.
Okay, come on, man. And
look. This brother. Look.
You work with the people, then, man. You know what I mean? He's worked with
remember, he worked on the last Temptation Platinum album, which is Phoenix Rising. He did one of the tracks. He wrote. When we're dealing with this gentleman, we're doing a summary here. If we go into the technicality
and the details of the numbers,
he's got his own recording studio.
Of course,
where he can actually fit in about between 25 to 30 band members, orchestra. He has his own Benjamin orchestra.
Even that, bro. Even that. This is a question I would say to all the successful producers that we do have in the UK. Do you have recording studios that you own? Have you invested in yourself so you could have your own studio? When the money was nice, did you do that? And a lot of them say no.
Actually, there's only 1 or 2 people that I know personally that have, and a few of them lives in Birmingham. This is interesting.
Birmingham Arcade. It's something to recognize. And the thing is, you don't need to have, I'm actually in the studios now of somebody who owned a house and had his own studios in his house. And he was in the music industry, not a black guy, but now it's owned by a black organization in the music arts. But the thing is, this is where we need to be transforming my mindset. That, what is my legacy? What am I leaving? If I get given £1 million £1 tomorrow to do Affinity Extra, to do production, to support the people tomorrow. How do I utilize that money? Do I utilize that money in my Lamborghini, or do I utilize that money in terms of developing infrastructure to continue having an engine that actually make go past my lifetime? And that's where we need to start thinking as music and producers. We're looking at so much in our house that we're forgetting about the village and the town, and all we're becoming is a major castle that will get raided because the poor get poor and they're mashed down your house because they got no food. The Russian Revolution, the French Revolution is because they mistreated the poor folk around them. They just enjoyed the riches, and too often we have musical rich people that stay in their castles.
Yeah, this is the actual challenge that we need to remember, which is fascinating. Think about it. Benjamin has worked with several artists that weren't born yet. Mm-hmm. When he did Off the Wall, several artists weren't born yet. You know?
Yeah, man. Of course, I weren't born.
Like for instance, Dollar Sign with LA. He wasn't born yet when the fact is that this master string arranger worked with him and took his rap composition to another level. When you hear the strings in LA, your skin stand up in the back because because when Benjamin does strings, he makes them dance like rhythm.
Well,
brother, you know.
And you know what's amazing, bro? Yeah, this is what amazing. He has got a so-called non-black instrumentation skills. Yeah, that's what I grew up with.
Actually, it's not non-black. Let's just correct this, brother.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's just correct this. It is not non-black because a lot of these strings that the Europeans invented is the influence they had from the great African empires and civilizations before. Because you don't actually, because remember, Alexander Library had every treasure and information that was Egypt, the knowledge. So the rebirth of classical arrangements and so on, like during the romantic period, well, it's white invention, yes, but they had to learn the instrumentation from other royal courts way back, because remember the string harps, the Bible, remember David understand how to use strings. He used to use an harp to cool down my friend, my mentally distressed Saul.
Bishop Saul,
he used strings, bro. He used harp. Saul. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He used those. So these guys were using strings long before. Yeah, we have different inventions of things. But strings was used long before there was a French Empire or British Empire. Please don't, because we're talking about ancient time. We got each, you know, as royal courts travel, as the Magi's travel, and they, you know, and they had their bands and so on. Each royal court had their hired instrumentalists. Yes. So that's, to me, I look at history in a different way. Yes, Europe did a few things, but brother, who was before Europe civilization?
So this is why we need to engage and really recognize string instrumentation as part of us. It's not nothing that's been given. It's not been given to us. It's part of our blood.
The Egyptians. It's part of the Chinese. It's part of everybody.
Yeah, man.
So this thing, let us stop differentiating things. Yeah. Because the strings is being used by all civilizations way back.
And a joke.
Anything that, listen, brother, anything has strings.
Yeah, man. Rhythm, innit?
It's a rhythm.
You know, guitars, man. That's God.
You know,
one thing that is crazy, bro, is that he's worked with from hip hop artists and so on, all the way down to jazz, funk, all sounds and elements, yeah, but he still brings his thing in with the strings arrangement. Like, people would think that, oh, you only can do certain style when he's, you know, when you're a drummer, you're a hip hop drummer, oh, he's a this drummer, but this guy brought his A game to whether it's soul, R&B.
When somebody asks him, what do you play? Did you play any favorite genre? He says, I play all genres. I can fit in all genres.
I love it. That's swagger.
Listen to him. I can fit in all genres. And matter of fact, listen to this. He's one of the few string arrangers and classically orchestra trained that has worked at the Nobel Peace Prize on 2 consecutive occasions, where he conducts the choir, the orchestra.
Wow.
On 2 consecutive. So this is how they're regarding Wright Jr. This is how they're regarding. He's the elite of string arrangers. He is the elite. He's part of the top 10.
And he's worked with such a Listen, guys.
I mean, the list drives you. I mean, when I thought I did have an understanding who he worked with, and then it became infinite. I said, did he work with who? With who? With who? With who?
Amazing.
Give me a break, bro. Give me a break.
Amazing dude, guys.
And all that on top of that, remember, each time he worked with nearly all the major black labels at the same time.
Of
the day. Yeah. Almost all the major black labels of the day.
Never forgetting people.
End of story, right.
Listen, guys. You had a great show. Listen, guys. Benjamin Wright. Listen, guys. If you guys do check out the description details if you're watching this on YouTube or any other thing, because all the details are in there. Where we got Kevin Tomlin's book, books that he has on Amazon, out there. Also, guys, we'll be doing more videos and more things. But so do follow. You go into the YouTube, you'll find in my playlist when it comes to black music history on Infinity Extra. There we go through different black musicians, and you know why we do this, guys. We're here to inspire you. We're here to make you feel better of yourself. You make you look in your mirror and says, we brought something to this world. I grew up thinking that we've been developed. Nobody developed us. Yeah, we brought something to the table. If anything, we put the first fruits on the table. Yeah, and we have to understand it so we can stand up and look ourselves in the mirror and stop being ashamed of who we are and what we bring to the table, and stop being told what is the sound of. Oh my guys, we got some things coming into anyway. So yeah, which will spark some thoughts. And myself and Kevin's part of the GMIA, and we will be bringing a podcast to Affinity Extra, which will be looking at more industry elements in there still, yeah, and how we can move forward from an insider's perspective. Gospel music in the UK. So you hear us celebrating black music in a gospel and secular viewpoint, but also we're going to be looking at it from a specifically UK gospel industry perspective. So watch out for that space in 2022. Kevin, thanks again. We get kicking off 2022 with a bang, and we just kicked off with Benjamin Wright. We've done over 20 videos so far, so guys, look forward for another 20-30 videos in 2022. God's sparing life, man.
I'm saying 20,
yeah, man.
Brother, did you say we did 20?
20, brother. We done over 20, man. Yeah, I'm saying.
Wow, what an achievement!
Yeah, I'm saying.
By the way, just to say this, that with Benjamin Wright Jr. Benjamin Wright Jr. is a devoted Christian.
Oh, what you tell me? Come on,
he's a devoted Christian, and another thing too, every time he's going into the studio to do an arrangement, he asks the Holy Spirit to guide him. He asks the Holy Spirit to guide him, to order his steps and give him the right connotation, the right charting and so on, and arrangement necessary to make it become reality. That's the brother we're dealing with. He's a devoted Christian, serious brother, and he depends upon the Holy Spirit to guide him. I end it on that note.
Listen, that's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Listen, guys, nothing but love. This is Roger and Kevin Tomlin on Affinity Extra. We're here to celebrate gospel music of black origin, and this is how we do it, celebrating the history of our people, man. God bless you.
Peace and love.
Bless.
Blessing.
Hey, this is your bishop. This is your bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.
Yeah, this is Roger here. Just closing off the show. We've gone over a little bit still, you know what I mean? But I'm going to play this track. Run it up to close off, man. Your interviews. Got loads of interviews coming up, guys. Hope you guys are ready for this on the Edge Show. We're going to edge it up. Just check out our YouTube channel. We'll be pushing a lot of stuff from there anyway still, yeah. Nothing but love, people.
Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records, yeah. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace.
Hey, rhythm vibes, man. Afro vibes. Get me.
I cannot build without God in it. We both the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time in it. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Gang time. Run it up. 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 You gotta put in that work, dog. I put the kingdom first. I know that you gotta wait for your turn sometimes to build something really sustainable. Work on your catalog so the day that you finally pop off, you'll see it's not just a once off. You put in time, the harvest is ready, it's ripe. I thank God for the payment. That's a solid foundation. When I finally make it, I give God all the praises. G.O.D. who conquered evil forces. I don't trust in chariots or fortresses. Yeah, I walk by faith. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time in it. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Gang time. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up.